I've known Matt Hayward now. I guess it's coming up on 4 years, I believe. And we met at a convention down in Williamsburg, Virginia, called Scares the Care, which, if you haven't heard from them, you should definitely check them out. It's scaresthecare.org. And I've been racking my brain trying to remember the specifics of how I met Matt. And I can't. I remember rose petals falling from the sky, but other than that, no, I don't remember the specifics. But I know when we did meet and start talking, he's a very likable guy, fast wit, great sense of humor, and by the end of the convention weekend, it was like we had known each other for years. Just a fantastic guy, and so we kept in touch, and just kind of touching base with each other, seeing what everybody was, working on and things like that. So fast forward to the summer of 2018, and at another Scares the Care convention, and Matt and I were outside the convention hall, and Matt had he had just released, him and Doug Morano had just released Welcome to the Show and the anthology, and that thing was just selling off the table. It was, it was going crazy. Everybody was so excited about this release, and it was just a phenomenal anthology to be part of. So we're outside kind of hanging out, and Matt comes up to me, and we both have pints. It's the end of the day. It's been a long day, and he's got this grin on his face, and he says, Bob, I think I got something for us to work on if you're interested. And I said, well, okay, what do you got? And he proceeds to spool out this heartbeat, this kernel of what would eventually become A Penny for Your Thoughts. And I was nodding my head the whole time. I was pretty intrigued. I was like, this, and I knew right away, over time and experience as a writer, we all have, scraps of paper and electronic files and things like that of ideas, story ideas. Over time and experience, you come to realize, well, that's definitely a short story, or that's a novella, or no, there's no doubt that is a novel. That's a big idea. And when Matt told me this idea that he had, there wasn't a doubt in my mind that this was a novel. I mean, this idea had some legs behind it, and we talked about it a little bit, and and I went to sleep late that night. I think it was like 2:00 in the morning, and I kept thinking about it as I was drifting off. And the following morning when I woke up, I wasn't thinking about coffee. I wasn't thinking about, scheduling for, getting back to my vendor table or readings or anything like that. I was thinking about this story. And I caught up with him later, and I told him, I was like, I've been thinking about this damn thing, I like it. I like it a lot. And he laughed and nodded. He had been in the same mental space as me. And we had a great time at the rest of the convention, and life moved on. He went back to Ireland with his lovely wife Anna, and I got back into. I was working on a bunch of projects. Matt's always busy. He's the hardest working man in the genre, I swear. But we just kind of got back to our own thing, and some time went by. And Matt, I don't think I ever told you this, but I started to get this feeling that, because he was busy, I was busy, whatever. But I started to get this feeling that it was one of those awesome conversations you have with someone, and life gets busy, and it never happens. And I think a month and a half went by, something like that, and one day I got this email. And it was Matt's, opening chapter. And that's how things started off.